Lines and delays are continuing to build up at the Texas-Mexico border. We have more.
The war in Ukraine is reaching its 50th day. We have an update on the state of the war.
And this local team has flipped their way to another national title. Stay tuned to learn more.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Blake Coonley.
And I'm Michaela Goose. Tensions are rising at the Texas-Mexico border as trucks loaded with millions of dollars worth of produce, consumer goods, and computer parts are stalled by a decision from Texas Governor Greg Abbott. His order to conduct enhanced inspections of all trucks crossing the border with the goal of catching undocumented migrants has essentially stopped goods coming into the U.S. through the Texas border. Mexico-based truck drivers responded with a multi-front blockade. CNN's Jonathan Martinez has more.
Truck drivers are setting up a blockade and protesting here at the Far Reynosa International Bridge, and it's creating quite the scene on both sides of the border. It's also making for a major bottleneck with long wait times to cross in other places. They, of course, are protesting Governor Greg Abbott's decision to step up inspections that he says are to combat cartels from smuggling drugs or people across the border. As a result, though, truckers have stopped commercial traffic, at least for now, in both directions, and that's leading to long wait times of several hours in some cases at other ports of entry. In fact, as truck drivers reroute to other places or even states, many now have concerns about the possibility of higher prices because of the supply chain disruptions. Some also worry about truckers possibly running out of fuel during the waits and reroutes and produce going to waste. Brokers we spoke with expressing concerns about what's happening and the time it's taking for truck drivers to cross.
There's a large consumption of produce and other commodities. There might not be enough to meet the demand. And at the same time, what's going to happen? Prices are going to go up. The price is going to go up for everything.
The average time right now went from anywhere between 2 to 4 hours on its busiest day to 12 to 14 plus hours.
In the wake of this gridlock, Governor Greg Abbott reached an agreement with the governor of Nuevo Leon, who agreed to enhance security on his side of the border. In turn, Abbott lifted heightened inspections at that bridge, and traffic has returned to normal. But the same cannot be said for every other crossing, where some ports of entry are backed up as much as 8 miles. These commercial trucks contain car parts, household goods, and produce that could spoil before getting to their destination. Experts are predicting prices jumps and empty shelves as early as this weekend. The first round of passenger buses carrying undocumented citizens from Texas arrived in Washington, D.C. yesterday, followed by a second bus this morning. These migrants coming into our nation's capital were apprehended by U.S. Border Patrol and given the option to ride coach to D.C. The rides are provided by the Texas Division of Emergency Management as a direct response to Biden's removal of Title 42.
Well, Blake, I don't know about you, but this weather lately, this warm weather and the sunshine, it's getting me ready for summer.
100% agree. I was finally able to dip my toes in the water at our pool. Let's head over to our weather anchor, Ryan Cantrell, to see what we can expect. Ryan?
Well, guys, we can definitely say hello summer here in Denton thanks to those rising temperatures. But speaking of which, currently we're at mild conditions here in Denton. We're right at 76 degrees under sunny skies right there. And we're also at a breezy day with winds to the southeast at 11 miles per hour. Now on to tonight, we'll see a little bit cooler conditions with temperatures dropping down to 63 degrees and then under clear skies as well. And then the winds will calm down to the east at 8 miles per hour. Now on to tomorrow, those sunny skies will remain once again and temperatures will climb all the way back up to those summer-like 84 degrees. It will feel like 86 degrees and those winds will change from the east to the south at 16 miles per hour. Now that's all I have for my first look weather forecast. Stick around as I talk about drought and fire conditions throughout Texas within the next few days. Michaela?
Thanks, Ryan. The idea of a 4-day work week is a reality in many American businesses, but a 4-day school week? Not so much until now. Enter Jasper ISD in the Beaumont, Houston area. The system will go to a 4-day-a-week schedule beginning this fall. Why? teacher burnout, teacher shortages, and difficulty finding new teachers. The system will give teachers and staff extra money to stay on in their positions, and so far, the idea of a 4-day school week seems to be popular. Officials say they have multiple applications for each position. There are more than 2,200 students in the Jasper ISD school district. Now, while teacher burnout is a reality, so is student burnout. Now, one of the goals at UNT is to give students a way to let off steam, relax, and take a break from studies. ntTV's Andrea Valdez is out at one of those great events that happens to also be a way for students to make a little extra cash. Andy, what is the Art Mart all about?
That's right, Michaela. So we are here at the Library Mall for Art Mart, which has over 70 local vendors here to sell their handmade creations. Now you can browse through dozens of different crafts, from prints to jewelry to crochet and even custom stickers. And there is so much to see here. And students are also able to attend workshops that are led by local artists. And this event began earlier this afternoon and will end at 7 p.m. Now I'm here with Eric Palaleo, who is an artist from Forever Influx Collective. Eric, thank you so much for being here today. So can you tell me a little bit about your business and the art that you sell?
Yeah, so we're Forever Influx Collective. We're just an assortment of artists in Denton. We work primarily in stained glass along with illustration, collage, painting, ceramics, jewelry, metal, all over.
Awesome. And tell me a little bit more about your necklace, because I know that you told me earlier that this is one of the creations that you actually sell.
Yeah, so I make these little stained glass sword pendants, and they're also as earrings. They're one of my favorite motifs to make, and yeah, I plan on making some more of 3 and 5 versions, but stained glass is just so fun. You can make whatever you want.
Awesome. And where can people find your business?
Right now we're on Instagram at foreverinflux.co, and you can find links to like our website and the workshops that we host on there as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being with us
you.
today. Now that is all that I have for you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to you at the studio.
Thanks, Andy. I am glad to hear that this year's Art Mart was a success. Coming up, an update on both national and international news.
And a new hands-free way to pay? We have the story. Stick with us.
So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh? Eh?
Hi, I'm Kennedy, the president of Black Film Club, and what I love about BFC is the atmosphere and the members. The family feel that we have in our club is really genuine. What about you, Bree?
My name is Bree. I'm the vice president of Black Film Club, and what I love about Black Film Club is it's a small but close, like, little family. You know, I feel like a lot of times when you go to a PWI, it's hard to find like a Black community that share the same interests in you. So I'm very blessed and grateful to have, you know, found my family.
What I would say I like about Black Film Club is obviously the environment that it sets for everybody. I love the officers. I've been rocking with basically all of them since day one, since freshman year. We all came in here at the same time, all got involved with Black Film Club at the same time. So it's been a nice like community to grow with, and then seeing like new members come, seeing them get interested, seeing how they like Black film, teaching them what we can teach them before we leave, and giving them the mantle to take over. It's a blessing.
It has been 50 long days since the start of the brutal war in Ukraine, and there is no end in sight. The US and EU have offered their support in a combined $1.4 billion of new military aid. This comes just as Ukraine braces for another major attack from Russia. Isabel Rosales with CNN has the details. I would like to give a warning. The images in the following story may be disturbing for some viewers.
Heavy fighting, an immeasurable human loss, now 50 days into this war. Tearful families look on as crews search for bodies near Kyiv.
Дочка не знає, що Що мами ще немає, як дочки, я буду казати, що мами немає, папи немає. Я не знаю, що мені робити, люди добрі.
The UN estimates nearly 2,000 civilians have been killed in Ukraine, warning the actual figures are likely considerably higher. The propaganda unending. Alicia Simonova recounts what her parents told her as she evacuated her daughter from their house in Crimea, a longtime Russian-occupied area.
Russia is helping Ukraine to get rid of Nazi groups, and this is not a war. It was devastating to hear it from your own parents.
Conflicting claims about one of the Russian Navy's most important warships. The Kremlin claims sailors evacuated after a fire, but Ukraine says its missile attack caused it.
It's a big blow to Russia. This is their flagship.
The Moskova was behind this viral moment in the Black Sea soon after Russia invaded Ukraine. On the way to Ukraine, more Javelin missiles, drones, and helicopters. The Pentagon hopes it could make a difference in the critical Donbas region.
We're moving as aggressively as we can to source all those items, get our hands on that material.
In Washington, I'm Isabel Rosales.
You know, Blake, with all this severe weather we've been having the last couple of weeks, I'm kind of a little antsy about this holiday weekend.
Yeah, especially with Ryan talking about maybe some fires across Texas. Yep. I'm curious to hear what he has to say. Let's head back over to our weather anchor, Ryan Cantrell, to see what we can expect next week. Ryan?
Well, guys, I can tell you we're probably not going to see much severe weather, aka tornado weather, for the next few weeks. However, I will get into that in our 7-day forecast. But currently, up behind me, we got the Apogee camera up. Beautifully clear day here in Denton. Not a cloud in the sky. And beautiful golden hour. It's a little bit breezy day. You can see the windmills blowing in the wind. Now, however, one thing I do want to discuss is drought conditions in Texas. So the map right here is a map from the Texas A&M Forest Service, and it depicts the drought areas throughout Texas. Now, most of the high to extreme risks are in the Texas Panhandle, South, and West Texas, with East Texas being a little bit on the moderate side. In fact, 88% of the state is currently experiencing some form of drought. Now, with drought also comes elevated fire conditions throughout the state of Texas. Again, much of the Panhandle, South, and West Texas are facing these fires. There's a few red flag warnings. I know there's one in Abilene and Amarillo. Austin even has an outlook, a watch for fires in that area, so please stay up to date with weather. However, there is good news, and projected for this weekend, it's supposed to get better. Most of the area south and even the Panhandle is in a moderate to low area. Up here in northeast Texas is in the low area. Now, that's all I want to talk about for fire. However, let's talk about beautiful, mild temperatures throughout North Texas. Currently, we're all in the mid to upper 70s. So let's see, we're going to start off with Bowie right there at 67, Decatur's at 75, Fort Worth and Dallas are at 77, McKinney's at 72, Sherman is at 72 as well, and then finally Paris right there at 72 once again. Now across the state of Texas, not much of a difference except warmer down south, a little bit colder up north. We got Austin is our hottest city at 83 degrees. Houston is at 79, and then Shreveport's at 82. Oklahoma City's at 79, and then finally El Paso out there is at 81 degrees. And now here is our 7-day forecast, y'all. Pretty uneventful Friday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 85 degrees and a low of 68. Now Saturday, Sunday, this weekend we can see some cloud activity, maybe some rain and possibly a thunderstorm or two, with Sunday having a 40% chance of rain. Monday, completely clear skies with a high of 76. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, we can see some more cloudy skies, more rain, and possibly a thunderstorm or two within the week. Now that's all I have for my full weather forecast. Tossing it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Ryan. If you have young children, you might want to hear this. Recently, Pfizer and BioNTech held a clinical trial where they tested a third dose of the COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. CNN's Mandy Gaither has the latest.
In just released data, Pfizer and BioNTech say kids 5 to 11 who took part in a clinical trial testing a third dose of COVID-19 vaccine had a 36-fold increase in antibodies against Omicron at least 6 months after their second shot. The companies say the boosters were well tolerated with no new safety signals and plan to request FDA authorization in the coming days.
People 12 and older, to be up to date on your vaccines would include a booster. That hasn't been the case for 5 to 11-year-olds because there is no authorized booster yet for that age group. This may change that.
During the Omicron surge, studies from New York and the CDC found the effectiveness of Pfizer's vaccine in this age group fell from 68% to about 12% against COVID-19 infection, but 2 doses still protected against severe illness leading to hospitalization.
If somebody is high risk, in particular in this age group, has some pre-existing condition and there's a lot of concern, then I think that this is going to be something that is going to be really important.
In the U.S., new COVID-19 cases are trending up in about half of states, but hospitalizations are still near the lowest on record despite an uptick in some Northeast states, leading some places to relax restrictions. But top U.S. health officials say remaining vigilant is still key.
In that respect, you wouldn't call it a crisis, but you don't want to forget about it because we know what variants can do.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
We urge all those who are eligible to get their vaccinations as well as booster doses where applicable.
Hey, Michaela, how much do you like going shopping?
I mean, I did buy this dress right before we came on air, Blake, so I like it enough. What about you?
Well, I think that the traditional way of shopping is about to change.
Okay.
The British-Polish company Walletmore is selling microchips as alternate payment options. This chip is about the size of a grain of rice, costs about $300, and does not come inside of a credit card. Instead, it might be implanted into your body, preferably in your hand. Once you activate it using a digital wallet app, Walletmore says that you will be able to make purchases at businesses around the world just by swiping your hand over a card reader. Right now, the chips are only being sold to citizens of the UK, Switzerland, and countries in the European Union.
Well, hopefully that'll help me out the next time I leave my wallet at home. But coming up, we have a special look at a UNT club.
And next, a local restaurant you may not know about. Stay tuned.
At a time when misinformation is all too common on social media, we take great pride in bringing you the news that matters, that impacts your family, news you can trust. Local broadcast journalists bring you the facts, covering the stories breaking in our community and across the globe. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on local journalism. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Imagine it's ice cream day at the office. And everyone from the day before voted for their favorite flavor. Everyone but you. You decided not to vote. The flavor they picked isn't the one that you wanted. But can you really complain? Shh! Now imagine that with an elected official.
Choose not to vote, choose not to be heard. Get registered today.
That's right, Michaela, and don't worry, Blake, I have the perfect spot for you. The Greenhouse Restaurant and Bar is the perfect place to sit down with friends and family and just enjoy a good meal. Located only 2 minutes away from the square, this charming little restaurant is locally owned and has something for everyone. I spoke with the owner to find out more about what makes Greenhouse so unique. Let's take a look. The Greenhouse Restaurant and Bar is a charming and locally owned restaurant here in Denton. This little hometown restaurant has made quite a name for themselves, and it's all thanks to the man who started it all.
I put myself through school working in restaurants and bars around the Denton area, and I had some friends that were opening up restaurants, and I helped them, and it just kept going, and I kept doing more restaurant stuff, and I thought it would be a good idea to have my own business, and so I found this place in '97 and opened it in '98.
The Greenhouse restaurant has been around for almost 25 years, but the building itself has been around a lot longer.
This used to be a flower shop, the Selby Flower Shop, and if you look on the walls up here, you can see the outlines of the old greenhouses that were here. That's where the name came from, and it just fit.
Greenhouse is best known for their amazing menu, which includes everything from wood-fire grilled meats to vegan-friendly salads.
We sell a lot of hamburgers, which a lot of people don't really associate us with, being a hamburger place, but I think a lot of it has to do with the open fire grill. We sell a lot of salmon, a lot of fish. We sell a lot of salads. We sell a lot of avocado dishes. Denton is an eclectic town. We have an eclectic menu, so that's what we've tried to do.
Is open every day from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. except for Fridays and Saturdays when they close at 10 p.m. You can find out more on their website at www.greenhouserestaurantdenton.com, so be sure to check them out. Michaela and Blake, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Isabella. I might have to check that out this weekend, but I heard there's something else happening on campus that Disney lovers like myself might be interested in. Our reporter Patrice Dorr is currently at UNT's Disney Club's latest event. What can you tell us, Patrice?
So, Michaela, I heard there are some champions down the road from us.
I think there are, Blake, and I heard a certain team is flipping their way through history, and Zach Fox has the story. Zach?
Thanks, guys. Right outside of Pioneer Hall here in Denton, Texas, another phenomenal, outstanding achievement here made just not too long ago. We'll have details on what that was when we return.
Hey, listen to my flow to save some H2O. This my water rhyme, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it goes, because if you don't, Earth will go, oh no!
Sorry. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, sorry.
UNT is more than 125 years in the making. To find new solutions, we create a new point of view. We know what's possible when creativity, originality, and independent thought converge. We're ranked a Tier 1 research university. We're home to excellence the size of Texas. Define your future at UNT and soar to new heights.
Winning isn't anything new when you talk about Texas Women's University gymnastics team as they went ahead to the USA Collegiate National Championship meet and won yet again, the 12th time in school history. Pioneers outlasting Air Force, Lindenwood, and Brown University with a season high score of 196.025. Isabel Goico also posted a career high on the floor with a 9.950 to repeat as national champion. Nothing but smiles here in Denton as this team, rebounding from a tough season last year, back to the top as we give kudos to the coaches and gymnasts on another phenomenal season. Here, joined alongside me outside Pioneer Hall, is junior Mackenzie Koonsman, a junior for the squad, and what a phenomenal year this was. Tell me, kind of take me through as a roller coaster of a season it was. A tough beginning, but a phenomenal ending.
Yeah, like you said, we actually came out of the gates at Florida. We had our highest opening score, and then we kind of hit a few bumps in the road, but we knew once we picked it back up, we just kept the ball rolling and ended up with a championship.
Well, phenomenal stuff, but one thing for certain is that with as popular this team is when it comes to winning championships, you have an influx of a ton of freshman talent coming up. Explain that.
Yes, so we actually have one of our freshmen who kick-started us on beam at the championship, and she just kept us rolling. And we actually have a few that we didn't see this season, but you're going to see next year, and their talent it's unmatched.
Well, Kenzie, great stuff. Look for a number 13 as you start your senior semester next year, so great stuff. Guys, 68% of 340 UNT student athletes made the Conference USA Commissioner's Honors Roll this year, equaling 231 student athletes. UNT had 218 athletes make the honor roll last year, as this award is the most awarded members in school history. The league will announce its Commissioner's Academic Medal Award winners on Friday for athletes who post a GPA of 3.75 or higher. Texas and Texas high school football. 2 peas in a pod. But let's not forget about Texas high school baseball, as some of the hottest teams in the state are getting hot at just the right time. Take a look at these standings as the 4 featuring the Keller Indians, district champs of last year and currently sit atop of the district standings at 8-1. VR Eaton sits in second, but lost last night to a South Lake Carroll group at home 8-1. South Lake Carroll with a tough stretch to start this season, but really starting to rely on their pitching and batting skills as they get now back to 3rd place after dropping to 4th at the beginning of the season. Keller will take on Fossil Ridge tonight before heading to VR Eaton, and VR Eaton tonight will take on South Lake Carroll for the 2nd time, and tonight it will be at South Lake. Speaking of Texas baseball, the Texas Rangers start this season just about the same way as they ended last year, as right now throughout 2 full series, Texas starts the season at 1-4 as they get back in the win column tonight, hopefully at Globe Life Field against the Angels. So 1-4 for the Rangers, but 4-1 for the Texas Rangers minor league affiliate, the Frisco Rough Riders, completely getting the job done with fresh pitching. Most importantly, future Texas Ranger ace Jack Leiter. Leiter pitched 3 innings while lighting up the radar gun in 7 strikeouts in the win last Saturday as the Frisco Rough Riders head to San Antonio and will continue their streak down there and hopefully to continue their dominant performance so far in the season as the Texas Rangers look to finally ignite their own. Live from Pioneer Hall, Zach Fox. Guys, to send it back to you.
Thanks, Zach. So you know the old saying, a bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush. Well, how about this twist? A fuzzy baby owl in a firefighter's hand. Okay, so now here is the real story. This little fuzzball fell out of his tree. Folks who lived nearby found the little guy, but there was a problem. How to get him back up in the nest? So they called the fire department, and sure enough, the Los Angeles firefighters hoisted a ladder, and the Feather family was reunited. Mama Owl and her 3 little fluffy babies, all in all, a baby owl back in the nest is the best outcome of them all.
I'm not gonna lie, Blake, I've been wanting to get a puppy for the longest time, but I might have to go ahead and just adopt an owl. Can I do that?
Well, I work for an apartment complex and we don't allow owls yet. Thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again Monday night at 6 here on North Texas Television.